Hey soapy folks, this is Kevin with Divine Design, and we have a soap video today. I wasn't planning to make soap this weekend because I have kind of a busy weekend and I have a ton of work travel right now. I just got back from the West Coast and Monday I fly out to Boston and I'll be there all week. So I just have a really hectic schedule. So I wasn't really planning on soaping. But then today I got delivered this really cool mold. Somebody posted this on Facebook, and actually it was, I think, a Japanese company that was selling them. Couldn't get it from there, but found one in Greece. And I couldn't get it from the one in Japan because it was difficult to communicate with them. I don't speak Japanese and they didn't speak English very well. So kind of what they said was the shipping cost would just be too much. But I found, I think, but I found somebody in Greece who sells this from an Etsy shop. And I'll have a link below to where I got it from. Now, the shipping cost was still kind of crazy expensive. Gosh, and I should have looked up the price of this. I think the mold is kind of reasonable. But I want to say with shipping to Philadelphia from Greece, I think I probably paid around $80 total for the mold plus shipping. So anyway, but it's a square mold, and then it has this insert so that you can do kind of a checkerboard pattern. So you pour in the checkerboard, and then you remove this, and that should leave your checkerboard pattern in there. So that's what we're going to do. Now I'm using my regular master batch here, so I have an extra mold because I'm pretty sure I'm going to have a bunch left over after I fill this. I'm planning to do 3 different colors, kind of 3 different checkers. So I'm going to divide the batter into 3 different parts there. Now I'm going to do kind of a natural themed soap. So for colorants, I'm using all natural ingredients, and my fragrance is an essential oil blend. So let's go over the base recipe first. So for my oils, 480 grams of olive oil pomace, 300 grams of coconut oil 76 degree, 240 grams of cocoa butter, 120 grams of rice bran oil, 60 grams of castor oil, 456 grams of water, and 167 grams of lye. You can find the amounts down in the description below. For the fragrance combination, it's a mixture that I mixed up myself. It is 25 grams of rosemary essential oil, 15 grams of clary sage essential oil, 10 grams of dark patchouli essential oil, 5 grams of lemongrass essential oil, and 5 grams of sweet basil essential oil. So, I mean, it's herbal. It has this great herbal smell to it. That little bit of lemongrass, even just 5 grams, is bright and you can smell it right through there. I think I'm not a huge fan of patchouli, but when I combine it with mixes, I love it. I'm totally a convert. It gives it a nice earthy base note to it with the basil as well, I think, and adds a little bit of a base. And then the rosemary and the sage, I think, contribute a lot to that kind of herbal just smell to it. It's very delightful. Okay. So the colors are kind of going to be green, hopefully kind of a orangey yellow, and then a tan. So to do the green, I have a mixture of alfalfa powder, chamomile powder, and French green clay. So it's not a lot of each, just a little bit, probably about a half a teaspoon of each that I've mixed with some oil. For the kind of yellowy orange, I have Annatto seed powder and turmeric. This looks a lot redder. I think it's going to end up being a lot more yellowy than what that looks like right there. And then for the brown, I have, or hopefully kind of a tan, I have Dead Sea Mud, Fuller's Earth, and flaxseed powder. Now the flaxseed powder should also add a little bit of speckles, some sort of speckles within the soap powder itself. I hope for some visual interest. Check the description down below for the sources for all of those things, which I will have listed. I'm also adding 2 tablespoons of aloe vera liquid and 2 tablespoons of sodium lactate. Those are both from Bramble Berry. And I think that's it. Let's get started. I'm excited to do this. Now, I haven't used this mold before. I think just for safety's sake, I am going to put some press and seal around the bottom, just in case. That way, if it does leak a little, I can hopefully contain the mess. Okay, that's good, I think. All right, let's get started. Before I add my lye and water, I'm going to add my sodium lactate, my aloe vera liquid, and my fragrance. And then I'm going to blend them up a little bit. Okay, on to the lye and water. Okay. I'd like to try and keep this liquid because I think that is going to help in pouring into the fancy mold. Alright, I'm just going to evenly divide this, hopefully. Okay, I think that's good. Alright, there's my green, which is pretty thick. The kind of red yellow, or hopefully orangey yellow. And tan. See if I can blend them up without spilling it everywhere. Okay, that's good. Okay. Let me rinse this off a little bit. And the green. Okay. My containers are a little full, as you can see. Clean up my mess a little bit here. Okay. So let's see, I'm not really sure what pattern to do here. Oh goodness, I made a mess. Let's see. Now I'm filling this up above here because when I take this out, it's going to lower some. In fact, I may need to try and hold it kind of as I fill. I mean, as I take it out. Fill it as I take it out, because I think this insert is going to drop the overall volume of the soap quite a bit. The colors came out pretty much exactly what I wanted, so I'm excited about that. And this tan one, you can see the flecks of the flaxseed powder in there, which doesn't really have a feel to it. I mean, it's soft, but I guess it has sort of a tiny feel to it. All right, let me give this a little tap. Now, as I pull this out, I mean, it's going to spread. Of course, I made a mess over here. Clean that up a little bit first. Nothing like soap batter on acrylic to make it very slippery. All right, I think I'm going to try to fill these a little bit here. Well, yeah, so as you take it out, you know, it leaves a lot of space there to be filled. So it sort of fell out here at the bottom. I think probably this end of the soap is going to look okay. I think I'm just going to fill the rest of this up instead of using the other mold. I'm just going to do layers, I think, and put the remaining soap batter in here. This will probably hold my whole, the whole amount, which I normally use for my tall and skinny mold. This will probably hold it all without the divider in place, which is about 1,400 grams of soap batter. Well, I'm sure there's a learning curve with, you know, using this mold, because it's a little bit complicated, but we'll see how it comes out. I have a feeling the other end of the soap will look pretty good, and then as we get to the middle, it'll kind of get wonky, and then as we get to the end, it'll just be these layers here, but oh well, no big deal. And I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. No top to texture or put glitter on. Okay. So that was a pretty good amount overall without the divider in. And I'm sure cleaning this divider is going to be irritating, but all right, there we go. This, let's see. I normally put my soap in the fridge to sort of avoid, you know, that partial gel. I don't know that this is going to fit in my fridge. I guess I can, yeah, I'm sure I can make it fit somewhere. So yeah, so I think we'll make this sit in the fridge for a couple hours, then I'll take it out, let it sit overnight, and then we'll unmold it tomorrow. So stay tuned after the break, should be the unmolding of this soap. Stay tuned. Okay folks, here we go. Getting ready to unmold this checkerboard. I guess I should show you what I'm doing. This mold has little wing nuts that you unscrew that holds the thing together. Now, this does come with instructions, like how to put it together, and then it also talks about that they have tested it on molding it with various oils and recipes, and it's come out okay, although that makes me think that getting this off could be a problem for some recipes. Oh, well that was, at least that side was pretty darn easy. Well, this unmolded for me just fine. Didn't have any problems at all. Alright, let's... The sides are very smooth. I don't know if it caused a little bit of like condensation. It doesn't look like it's oily. Okay. All right. So let's cut this. And like I said, I think the one end is probably going to look okay. Maybe for a few slices. And then I think somewhere in the middle it's going to go all kinds of wonky. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this should be the side that looks hopefully okay. Not so great. Oh, okay, that side's a little better. That looks pretty good. Yeah, okay, good. That looks very nice. Sorry, I'm probably not showing this to you. So that looks pretty good. The little checks came out okay. That one's really good. Nice and crisp. I think, like I said, there's probably a learning curve to using this mold. I have a feeling taking that middle section out like smoothly and quickly in one motion would help to make these squares look, look more crisp. I do like the texture in here. So definitely with the kind of tan ones, those little specks are the flaxseed. The turmeric, turmeric and what else did I use? Gosh, I can't even remember the red one. Anyway, it also has that nice sort of speckled look to it. I like the texture. The green one, not so much, right? And that's okay. I mean, I kind of wanted to have different textures in there. Now, this is probably into the part where I had lifted the mold and started pouring. So it's actually looking okay. Now it's getting just a little bit more kind of wonky. Oh, yeah. So this was the bar where things started going. But the one side still looks okay. And then these last three are probably just going to look kind of crazy. Oh, well, they still kind of look cool. I kind of like that. This one here. And these are probably just, yeah, the layers. So these last ones I knew would be... smells good. Like I said, it still has that very herbal smell to it. So, okay, that's it. Testing this new kind of funky mold. I don't know how much I'll use this mold. I mean, I think I'm probably going to try it again and see if I can get a little better at it. But it gives, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... 11 1-inch bars, so that's just the same as my tall and skinny mold. And they, obviously I need to let these cure, but weight-wise they feel about the same as my tall and skinny ones. So I'm sure they'll be close to probably around 4 ounces. Maybe they're a little bit lighter because of the size, but and it also gives you sort of 2 end pieces that are really thin, that you could use for samples or something like that. So, okay, that's it. Comments, questions, leave them down below. Like, subscribe, do all that fun YouTube stuff. And yeah, what kind of funky mold do you use that isn't kind of your standard, bar mold or whatever? What's a kind of funky mold that you like to use? Leave a comment down below. Alright, that's it here for Divine Design. Check back for more crafty and soapy videos. Thanks everyone. Have a great weekend.